Now, another thing that is likely to change in the state of Georgia because of how mismanaged the Georgia election was in 2020, because of all the problems, and looking specifically at Fulton County with all of the various batches of ballots that were scanned and rescanned. I mean, like they make that 12,000 vote lead that Joe Biden got, that could all be attributed just to the double scanning of ballots there, essentially in Fulton County. And again, that's not going to be able to happen because Republicans are not going to get kicked out. They're going to be watching people. And then on top of that, they didn't bother to do any signature matching. So it didn't catch any of the ballots that shouldn't have even been counted. Now, as a result of that, and primarily the efforts of Garland Favorito and Voter Georgia, there is now a bipartisan movement, Republicans and Democrats, both working with the Georgia Election Commission and demanding that they go to all paper ballots rather than using Dominion voting machines. And perhaps they would probably still use the electronic talliers, but getting rid of the electronic voting machines so then they don't have that single point of failure. Now, once that happens, it's going to be very, very important to make sure that your ballot is flawless. Okay, like no extra pen marks outside of the bubbles. You take your time. You make sure you fill in every single bubble. You don't go outside the bubble. You fill it in. You leave no empty marks. You don't check off next to it or make any other hash marks or anything. Don't write your name on it. Don't do anything like that. Don't get cute. Just fill in the bubbles. Fill in every single bubble. Double check it yourself. Make sure you know who the candidates are. Make sure that you're not just voting for someone because they're a Republican, because sometimes like county commission races or something, we vote for the entire county commission here in Flagler. All right. So I've got like 5 different county districts that I have to vote for. And so I have to make sure that I know exactly who's there because you're going to have multiple people in each race. And you want to make sure you know who those people are. And then you're also going to have nonpartisan races where you might have, 2 people running against each other. They don't say Republican or Democrat. It's even more important that you know who that person is. And even at the local level, it's so vitally important because whoever you elect at the local level, they're eventually going to probably move up. They'll go up to a state level position, and then maybe they'll go up to a federal position. And if you elect a rhino at the local level, and then you're forced to keep voting for that rhino after they leave because they're the only Republican, you're gonna be putting yourself between a rock and a hard place.
That's a hell of